from the Shipyard. It's the ICTN Game of the Week. And 6-6A boys baseball, the MacArthur Cardinals taking on the Nimitz Vikings. Hey everybody, Rob Willman with you. John Nelson will be joining us here in a moment in the broadcast booth. What a pleasant day for a little hardball, a little baseball. It was April 5th, 2019. Mid-50s, winds around 10 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the standings going into tonight's battle. And kind of ironic, if you look at the win totals in district, they start at 7 and they just kind of take one, minus one, minus one, minus one. There you go. Irving 2-5 overall, Nimitz 1-6, and MacArthur still looking for that first district win, 8-15 overall tonight. And, you know, Coach Canan, he'll be the first to admit, hey, I got a young team. And he said, I was young last year. It's just that I had two good players, and one of which was a pitcher, Jake. And, you know, we could win the 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 type games. And this year we can't. Nimitz, on the other hand, they exploded huge. 20 runs against MacArthur earlier this week to pick up their first district win of the season. The starting lineups, and we'll start with MacArthur because they are the visitors tonight, and they're in their traveling uniforms. As you take a look at them on the third base line this year, they've got the dark uniforms trimmed in red. And the starting lineups for MacArthur, the batting order will go as this. Junior Torres will lead things off. Trenton Duffer batting second. Perucci batting third, playing in left field, and Tony Garcia will be your cleanup hitter. Anthony Marufo batting fifth. Jorge Meza follows. He had a great game last week on ICTN. Ard is the DH. Jimenez playing second base, batting eighth. And Austin Goff, your right fielder, batting ninth. And that was a game in which we went extra innings, 12 innings, as you take a look at the head coach, Canan, for MacArthur. He goes, you know, it's just a learning experience, and our youngsters, they're going to take a while to learn this game. He's got a pretty good JV. They're about 5 or 6 games over the 500 mark. They won pretty convincing style. Ryan, in his 6th season, spent 2 years as a head coach at Ranchview, played baseball at Northwood, former varsity assistant in Irving, and of course his dad, Roy, was coach at Mac from 79 to 84. Retired about 6 years ago already with over 600 wins and over 30 years of coaching, so the DNA is there. Pitching tonight for Nimitz will be Anthony Gonzalez. And the first man he faces is, again, the catcher and probably the best hitter on this team, and what to call John Nielsen.
All right, Rob Willman, thank you very much. This first week of April, the turf has been brushed and groomed. Temperature in the mid-70s, and we're just about set for tonight's first pitch. Sophomore Anthony Gonzalez faces Junior Torres, and the first pitch of the game is on the inside corner, just a little bit off. Junior Torres leading in just about every offensive category for the MacArthur Cardinals. Comes in batting .467. There you see the weather conditions tonight. Wind blowing out to right field. Pitch on the outside black. Count even at 1-1.
Torres had 5 plate appearances last week. He walked 4 out of the 5 and got caught looking on the only time he didn't walk.
1-1 pitch is on the outside corner again as Torres takes in the count at 1-2.
Coach Canan said, yeah, and that was a ball 4. He was taking up first play.
No doubt about it.
That's right. He said he looked at it. It was wide.
Cardinals in that game we brought you last week. A 5-4 extra inning affair. Count even at 2-2. Trenton Duffer to follow, then Raymond Perucci.
Hey, we almost played enough for 2 games last week.
Yeah, almost filled up twice. And the 2-2 pitch was a swing and a miss. It gets away from Ricky Flores. It'll be a strikeout, and then Torres taking first as it got away from Ricky Flores.
You going to call that on the catcher or the pitcher?
Strikeout on a PB.
Let's see if.
Yeah,
he probably.
That's a wild pitch.
Yeah.
From here, I thought he may have had a chance to trap it in the heel of the glove, but Flores had no chance. And a swing and a miss on the high fastball. Trenton Duffer, the center fielder, hitting .218. Sophomore Anthony Gonzalez on the hill tonight for the Nimitz Vikings. Shortly by Torres at first, and he'll draw the throw. Noah Perez, first baseman for Nimitz tonight. Cardinals overall 8-15. Finished third in the district last year at 10-4. Won a playoff game last year. The set by Gonzalez. Here's the pitch, swung on, and a double play ball. Coronado, and the relay throw is not in time. Aaron Wright on a relay throw as Duffner beats it out. Torres is erased at second. And a fielder's choice for Trent Duffner. Another look at it, Rod.
Well, let's see if the turn, if Coronado got to it in enough time. Maybe, yeah, maybe just a tad hesitation by Wright at second. And all it takes. Couldn't get around fast enough, and they do get the lead runner, though.
Hit right at Coronado. This new turf, not many bad bounces. And had a chance to turn two, but as it is, 1 on, 1 out for their left fielder, Raymond Perucci. Cardinal Junior Varsity won their game about an hour ago, 6-2. Popped up and foul ground, and this will reach the seats. Raymond Perucci, batting .288. Leads the team in RBIs with 18. Third on the team in total hits with 17. Cardinals overall hitting .263, averaging 4 runs a game. Trent Duffner being held on by Perez at first. Gonzalez is set. He's coming home. The runner is off. Pitch gets away from Flores. And advancing easily to second is Duffner. He'll try to take third on the high throw, and he's in there. 2 for 1 as Duffner able to reach second on a ball that got away from Flores, and then able to take third as well.
Pretty aggressive running by Duffner. Thought maybe he should have stopped at second, and he thinks otherwise and gets right underneath the throw. Gets that left hand in just in time, and now he's in scoring position with only 1 out.
And the 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2.
If you recall last week on ICTN, how many times MacArthur had chances to score, John? A couple where they had a guy at third and he got called out at the plate. Tag ups and just bad running mistakes.
The 2-1 pitch is up and in, ball 3.
Well, so far here in the early go with only 1 out and just facing the third batter, Anthony Gonzalez, going to a lot of breaking pitches. And if you notice the MacArthur batters, they're really crouching in on the plate a little bit. Got that right toe right on the line.
And the 3-1 pitch is swung on, hit in the air and foul ground off the third base line. In pursuit is the third baseman, Miskarnik, who reaches over the railing but ran out of room. Ricky Flores also gave chase.
One of the Cardinals down there, you know, they don't sit down. They just kind of hover over the railing. And let's see what happens if one of the guys are all ducking and, oh look, the bat to the arm. It was, I believe, Ard, who will bat later in the lineup, had the helmet on and the bat and got in the way.
Lined into left field, it's 1-0 Cardinals. Raymond Perucci drives in his 19th run, and a lead for the visitors.
That's something Mac has not been able to do this year. Let's get some clutch hits with a runner on board, and that time Perucci delivers with a nice base hit to left.
Here's a cleanup batter, the opposing pitcher, Tony Garcia. Yeah, you're talking about the men left on base, Rob. They stranded 15 in that loss to Irving last week. As you see, they had more than their fair share of chances in that extra inning loss. Tony Garcia hitting an even .250. Runner at first, Raymond Perucci. Gonzalez is set. He's coming home. Lined on one hop off of the glove of Coronado, gets up and throws out Garcia. Coronado feeling the hot smash to his right. Moving up to second is Pierucci.
Well, it was a great play moving to his right with the backhand. I thought at first he would just hold on to the ball and they'd have runners at first and second. But Garcia, who has really good power, not as fast as maybe a couple of guys ahead of him. And that enabled Coronado to make the play, and well done on the infield.
Marcus Coronado, one of 3 juniors for the Vikings. Anthony Marufo, third baseman, up for the first time tonight. Marufo batting .290. Runner at second is Raymond Pierucci. Gonzalez throws. This one is fouled off the right side. Maybe reach the street to our right. Home plate faces southeast here at the Shipyard. Wind out of the southeast at 14 miles an hour, which means it's blowing out to right center. Sun behind the clouds. 1-0, Cardinals on top. 2 outs here in the first. A foul ball placed in about the same spot. Cardinals this year, 11 seniors, 3 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 4 freshmen.
First time we've been off the Irving High School campus this year. A couple of softball games and a baseball game at Irving High, and so we get to see the field and same makeup as all the other ones at Irving ISD.
0-2 pitch, low and away.
We had discussed whether or not the outfield fence was new at Irving High last week, and I think we got our answer tonight because we found out indeed they put up new fencing. Looks really nice. Fresh coat of paint, nice background.
High center field wall stretches all the way to the right field line. 1-2 pitch is swung on and through the right side. Raymond Pierucci rounding third and will hold in runners at the corners. Base hit number 19 for the third baseman, Anthony Marufo.
Well, I was wondering if Canan was going to test the arm of Greenman in right field. It got to him pretty quick. At first it appeared Pierucci was going to try to stretch that into a run at the plate, but cooler heads prevailed and he put on the brakes.
Here's Jorge Meza, the freshman shortstop. Runners on first and third, 2 outs. And take strike 1.
He looked really good, didn't he, last week? First time up as a freshman playing varsity ball.
Yeah, collected 4 hits. Batting in the 6th spot. Coach Ryan Canan's batting order tonight. Runner is halfway between first and second. And just kind of holding it and kind of bird dogging the runner at third. Anthony Marufo reaches first, so no play. Trying to entice Pierucci to come down the line at third. So nothing ventured, nothing lost. On that defensive maneuver.
They weren't taking the bait, were they?
No, just held their ground. You'd hate to represent the third out. You have a runner at third. You're leading 1-0. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss.
As well as Jorge has done as a freshman, getting base hits, batting .455. He's kind of feast or famine. 5 hits, but also 4 strikeouts.
0-2 on the freshman shortstop. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Who wants it right? The second baseman is there to put it away for out number 3. But the Cardinals score a run on a couple of hits, no errors, and they strand 2. After a half inning on our District 6-6A ICT and Game of the Week, it is MacArthur 1 and the Nimitz Vikings coming up.
Could have been worse, perhaps. Positive things for Mac. They get a hit with a runner on to knock in a run. The Nimitz side, your starter throws 21 pitches in the very first inning.
Yeah, there is a pitch count on the scoreboard in left field, so we can keep up with that.
Batting order for Nimitz. Starts off with a shortstop, Coronado leading things off. Maskernick, the third baseman, batting second. Micah McGee batting third, and the DH is Manny Rodriguez. Flores catching, batting fifth, followed by Armenta, Aaron Wright, Noah Perez, the first baseman, batting eighth, and Greenman, the right fielder, batting ninth. And they will face Tony Garcia on the mound for MacArthur High School. Garcia, who we saw a little bit last week, comes in with a 2.55 ERA. He struck out 15. He has walked 19. And he was part of the pitching ensemble we had about a week ago. He has by far pitched the most innings on this MAC squad, 28 innings coming in. Next is Duffer, who we have out in center field tonight. Duffer got the start last week. And defensively, let's take a look at the cards in the field of play. We'll start with the outfield, left or right, Perucci, Duffer, and Goff. The infield, Marufo at third, Meza at short, Jimenez at second, Perez at first. And again, Tony Garcia is your pitcher, Torres doing the catching.
And Marcus Coronado, the shortstop, leads it off for the Vikings, overall with a record of 6-14. Freshman Tony Garcia throws, and this one lifted into left field. Raymond Perucci lining it up and brings it into the glove for out number one. Absence of Sun right now. The Sun playing a hide and seek for about the last 45 minutes, but Rob, I think we're going to finish this game in complete shade. The lights have been turned on.
I'll take it.
Greg Maskarnik, third baseman, up for the Vikings. Garcia throws, and Maskarnik takes a strike right down the middle. Cardinals with a staff ERA of 6.04. Freshman Tony Garcia with an ERA of under 3. 0-1 pitch is over but low, and the count even at 1. Leg kick and the 1-1 pitch is swung on and bounced wide of third. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. That wild game played on Tuesday that resulted in a 20-5 Nimitz win. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. It's away from Junior Torres. It'll be a strikeout for Tony Garcia, and there is out number 2. So the second game between these two in the same week. Schedule changed a couple of years ago. You play your same opponent twice in a week, Tuesday and Friday. Each team gets a home game. Here's Micah McGee, the center fielder. Swings and chops one foul behind home.
I like that idea. That way you get pretty much guaranteed to get 2 different pitchers. Unlike if it's spread out, you might get the same guy both times.
Coaches like it. 0-1 pitch. Outside. Dollar hot dog night tonight at the Shipyard. Big crowd on hand. There was a big crowd for the JV game.
Impressive crowd.
Looking in Garcia, and the 1-1 pitch is swung on a line past third and foul ground. Nimitz averaging 3 runs a game on the year. This is their 21st game overall.
You notice that Coach Somswang is using his assistants to go out. The JV coach is at the first base area. He's got an assistant at third base, and Somswang is just staying in the dugout. You know, kind of like a big-time manager like they do in the pros.
Coaching in the first base dugout. Just making contact as McGee as he foul tipped it. And the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Outfield straight up all the way around. There's a 10-foot high fence, and it lengthens to about 15 in center field. There's a swing and a miss as Garcia throws the changeup, and McGee out in front of it as the Vikings go in order. After one full, it is MacArthur 1, Nimitz nothing.
Well, early on, it looks like Mac has figured out Gonzalez on the hill, whereas Nimitz had a little trouble with Garcia, their counterpart. Unlike that other game when they really had a tough time. You see some of the IBA kids, Irving Baseball League, before the ball game, they were introduced. They got to parade around the ballpark, which is kind of cool, and all the youngsters went out along with their coaches. And then later, as they introduced the starting lineup, here they are right here, the kids coming out. There's my favorite team, the Mean Green. And the kids with the 5, with all the players, which is really cool, along with their coaches. And then later on, the starting lineups. Here we go. That's so cute, the little ones coming out, getting introduced, and they get to run out. You see the Rangers do this a lot. And they have designated youngsters that get to come out and get on the ballpark and walk out on the field. Look at that stride. Where's he going? Where's he going?
Big left turn.
That's great.
First thing you noticed was that Nimitz now has chosen to occupy the first base dugout, so that is their home now, first base dugout.
And you know, it was more, I always thought they should have first because the sun, with it setting in right, you make the visitors have to put up with the heat, but there's a reason for that, and I'll let this guy pitch first.
Dylan Ard, the DH, with a savage swing and a miss on the first pitch from Gonzalez.
It was all predicated over the fact that the batting cage that they built is down the right field line, and so that's why they moved, and they used the first baseline as their home dugout.
Down low in the count, even at 1. Makes perfect sense. Their equipment building is still down the left field line with a big white in on a brick building. Reaching and missing on a pitch outside is Ard, and is down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. One nothing, Cardinals on top. They won both games last year. Outside, ball 2.
I think so far, Gonzalez, half of his pitches have been a breaking ball.
And he throws a lot of benders, it appears, early. Sophomore Anthony Gonzalez throws, and that one didn't miss by much. Dylan laid off of it. And the count now goes to full. Has a pronounced open stance, the DH for the Cardinals. And sends one into left field. It hugs the line. Big turn at first by Ard. Ard digging for second and is in there with a stand-up double. It may have missed the previous pitch, but on the 3-2 pitch, able to put it in play and ends up with a 2-bagger.
Watch this, Johnny just reaches down and away to make contact, and he loops that over third base and motors into second with a stand-up double, and they've got the leadoff runner aboard again for the second straight time.
Here's the second baseman, Gerardo Jimenez, batting. Well, he hadn't had that many at-bats, just one hit in 17 at-bats. Shows bunts and pushes it up the first base line. In and out of the glove of Noel Perez. It's a fair ball. It'll be an E3, and Ard able to take third.
Nice bunt, by the way. All he wanted to do was push it away from the third baseline so he could get his runner Ard over to third, and ended up as Perez got a little handcuff there and ends up at first base. So now they got runners at first and third, and they've already tried a little running trick before where they have that runner at first trying to get in a rundown, try to pull away the pitcher's concentration. Let's see if they send Jimenez right off the bat I'm sure that Nimitz has already talked about what if the guy runs, let him go. What are we going to do? Because there's no outs.
The number 9 hitter, Austin Goff, adding 250. The corners are in. Goff, the right fielder, and Jimenez dives back safely into first. Cardinals taking an early 1-0 lead and going for more here in the second. Gonzalez is set. He throws, and here's one hit to pretty deep left field. Armenta with the catch. Tagging at third is Ard. It's 2-0. A sac fly and an RBI for Austin Goff. It is 2-0 Cardinals.
This is something Cardinals couldn't do last time we saw him play, and that's get the sac fly, get the runner in.
In what could have been the second out, there's still just one out. Now the top of the order, Junior Torres. Struck out his first time up. Short lead at first, the pitch to Torres. He holds off and the pitch misses low. Torres came in batting .467, 16 RBIs, leads the team in doubles with 9. Also in 3 baggers with 3.
All as a leadoff batter.
Has a ton of walks this year, well over 20. That one on the outside corner, check swing, the count even at 1.
Sure, it's tempting to try to send Jimenez down to second and get a runner in scoring position, but there's only one out. We've got a good bat up there. Let him do the damage.
Yeah, Aaron Wright, the second baseman, more than likely would take the throw. Another toss to first. The 1-1 pitch to Torres. The runner is off. This one yanked foul. Off of the warning track down the left field line.
We've seen a bunch of Cardinals just a little bit out in front of the pitch. Pulling it down that third base line is Coach Canan. Probably with Torres up, just says, forget the signals, you know what to do.
Vikings have allowed their fair share of runs over the last 6 games. Another throw to first. 52 to be exact over the last 6 games. And as a runner at first, this one a little bit high. And the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the catcher, Junior Torres. Trenton Duffner would be next, barring a double play. Gonzalez deals, the runner is off, and here's one slowly hit up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. There's a congestion at second base as you had the runner kind of standing up. Coronado had to throw over him, and all hands are safe.
Nimitz players wanted runner interference, but I think Jimenez was already on the bag when Coronado tried to make that throw. He's going straight toward the bag. Here's the slide. He's already there. He stands up. No harm there. I mean, he's got to stay on the bag.
Yeah. Trenton Duffner swings and lines one to the second baseman. He'll turn and deal to Coronado to complete the double play. 4-6 on the inning-ending double play, but the Cardinals add to their total to get a run on a hit. They leave one, and in the middle of the second, our new score 2-0 Cardinals.
Well, let's see if Nimitz can get something going offensively. One hit out of the infield and a couple of Ks to the credit there.
Like the Vikings, the Cardinals have also allowed their fair share of runs over the last 4 games, 47. And it'll be the middle of the order, Rodriguez, Flores, and Armenta. In the bottom half of inning number 2, this first week of April, temperature 75 degrees.
Major League Baseball season in full swing, and as of this taping, again, this is April 5th, and the Rangers take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. They take 2 out of 3 from the Astros. They defeat, the Angels in Game 1, right before this, and you're like, well, wait a minute. Is this who we were talking about before the season? Sure, it's a long season, but, at least for the first week, you can kind of say, how did that happen? They get excited about it.
You got the A's coming in next weekend, Oakland coming in. Next week, we're just behind us for the Lady Vikings in softball action
against the Lady Cards. Defensively, for MacArthur, as we head to the bottom of the second inning, Perucci, Duffer, Goff, left to right in the outfield. Marufa, Meza, Jimenez, and Perez are your infielders. Torres behind the plate, and Tony Garcia, your starting pitcher for MacArthur here in the bottom of the second.
The DH, Manny Rodriguez, leads it off for the Vikes. Swings and nubs one at the first base line. It spins into the glove of Marcus Perez, who will walk over and kick the bag for out number 1. One out.
We talk about the fact, John, that with this new turf, you don't get a lot of bad hops. You do see sometimes a little English, if it's put on the ball, it may spin a little weird, but as far as bad hops are concerned, few and far between.
Ricky Flores, the catcher, takes ball 1 inside. Tony Garcia, 3-3 on the year. He's out working his 30th inning overall. Brings it and chopped foul behind home. One pitch up high and a swing and a miss as Flores comes up empty, and the count at 1-2.
What is it about high pitches that are so difficult to lay off?
Man, your eyes get big. It's just hard not to take a rip at it. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And strikeout number 3 for Garcia. And on the year, number 18. Has 19 walks, now 18 strikeouts.
Funny about that high pitch. I'm at a coach pitch league. And the parents are like, quit throwing it to the kids high. They're going to get used to hitting it high. Later on, they won't be able to do that.
Bunted in no man's land, fielded by the pitcher. The throw a little late as Garcia having to turn counterclockwise and try to throw out Armenta, but Ricardo beats it out and a bunt single. First hit of the game for the Vikings.
Wheels, yeah, nice wheels for the left fielder and a really nice bunt to boot. Watch him get out of the box. And he beats this by a good 2 or 3 steps. Well done.
Aaron Wright, the second baseman, up for the first time, hitting in the number 7 spot. Swings and misses on a sharp breaking pitch thrown by Garcia. Tony set, runners off. This one hit in the air to center field. Coming on is Duffner, still coming on. It falls in shallow center field. It gets away from Duffner. It'll be a hit and an error. Armenta able to score, and the lead has been cut in half. Well, no error because Wright didn't advance, so a single for Aaron Wright.
Watch Armenta. He was a benefactor of A, running, and B, the fact that it was 2 outs. It didn't matter. He had to keep on trucking. And they did hit the cutoff man, Perez, who threw a Pretty good strike to home plate, but just a little late.
Joel Perez, the first baseman up. Yeah, Duffner got away from him, but Wright wasn't able to move up. Armenta able to score. A twist, a turn, and a throw by Garcia at first. Joel Perez, first baseman.
That was one out. Armenta would have to hold up a little bit to see if Duffer would catch it or not.
It was a Texas League single for Aaron Wright. This one pushed foul. Wright first.
What do the other states think of that?
You never hear the Montana double.
No.
Or the Illinois triple.
Right?
Texas League single. Inside. Almost got the elbow, Perez. And the count of 2-1. Nimitz 1-6 in district play. In the air to right field. This one is a foul ball by about 4 feet. As it heads into that corner.
Just kept tailing to the right. Well hit. Plenty of length to that one, as Wright would have scored easily from first base.
There's about a 20-foot high screen above the right field wall. And extends all the way to right center field. And it's lined with a yellow border up top. There it is.
Yep. Did we learn earlier that was like the only thing that wasn't replaced?
The very top. Only Irving field that's below street level. Beautiful yard. Only has been a nice setting here at Nimitz. Here's a 2-2 pitch. He went around and just got a piece of it off the bat handle. May have hit his left hand as well. But it hit the bat first, and the count holds at 2-2.
First it appeared he just got fooled on it and missed it. Got a break.
Aaron Wright leads at first with 2 outs. He's running. It is put into play off the side of the mound, fielded by Meza, and able to get it over Perez in time to throw out Noah Perez. But the Vikings cut the lead in half. A run and a couple of hits. No errors and a runner left. After 2 full, our score, MacArthur 2, Irving 1 on our ICTN Game of the Week. Back here at Nimitz High, the Shipyard is 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals. And the middle innings means work for Rob Willman as you set the scene here in the third.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. 2-1. MacArthur on top. They scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. First pitch swinging is Perucci right to Coronado. And just like that, there's one down here in the top of the third. MacArthur scored 1 back in the first thanks to a single by Perucci. They ended up getting a couple of hits that inning, but could only score 1, and then thanks to a sacrifice and a few errors, they scored again in the second, but it was Dylan Ard who led things off with a double that helped the cause there. This is Garcia, the pitcher. He swings at the first pitch, right field. McGee can't get to it, the center fielder. And with another base hit are the Cardinals, and they have another runner aboard with only 1 out. That is the 5th base hit in 2 1/3 innings for MacArthur. That is Rodriguez going into pinch run. Alec Rodriguez, the courtesy runner.
Alec Rodriguez.
Alec, not Alex, but Alec. Let's see if they try to put some stress on Flores behind the plate. Marufo up, singled his last time up. He swings at the very first pitch again. McGee back on his heels in center. Can he get to it? No. Going to go all the way to the track. Rodriguez is going to be waved in. Oh, and he is out by a mile. third they go, and they can't get the double play the odd way. The MacArthur JV players are like, I don't think he was ever tagged at home plate. Let's see if we got that, and John Eagle Eye Nelson can take a closer look.
Well, I thought Rodriguez was going to hold at third.
Here.
They ran themselves into trouble last week. It's a one bouncer, and then Flores is set. And if he did get him, he got him on the sleeve.
He almost put the 1-2 dipsy-roo on him, didn't he?
Yeah. Another
Third
double play. This one fouled off.
This is the fourth straight batter, John, that has swung at the first pitch. Maybe they saw something over the first 2 innings. Good relay play defensively. Rufo a double, goes to third on the play at home. 2 outs, 0-1 pitch. Down the line, everybody chases. No one can get to it. Wright, Perez, Greenman, all 3 converging on that one down the right field line. And ahead of the count is Anthony Gonzalez as Jorge Meza, the freshman, steps in. Did a nice little soft pop-up to the second baseman back in the first inning. Infield straight away. Marufo down at third and swings it right to center. McGee got a late jump on it again, and does he get it? Yes, he does. Nice play in center. Late jump, dove for it, makes the catch, and MacArthur comes away with nothing.
Well, McGee busy in more ways than one in this third inning. Had to go all the way to the wall to get the hit by Marufo, and then with a diving effort here to retire Meza. All-out dive, a one-hander, and it doesn't come out.
Nope. You can see the material they use for filler, crushed tires, etc., all flying up in the air when he made the dive, but that's what speed will do for you. It'll make up for those misgivings in a hurry. So for the first time in the ball game, MacArthur does not score a run, although they got pretty close twice. And Nimitz hangs in there, down by just a run as we go to the bottom of the third.
Well, Nimitz opened up the year defeating Lancaster. Won 2 of the first 5 games. Able to beat Lancaster twice in non-district. Beat Arlington Sam Houston 12-1. But then the district wars. Losses to Hebron, losses to Marcus, and that was followed up by a couple of losses to Flower Mound.
Good baseball in 6-6A.
Not bad at all. There you see Nimitz in district play, that 20-5 one-sided affair earlier this week. Man, they wish they could have saved some of those runs for tonight.
You know, shut out 5 times during district. So that was frustration right there. 0-1 swung on, base hit by Greenman, the number 9 hitting right fielder, gets a base hit to start things off for Nimitz, and the first time tonight they've got their leadoff batter aboard. So we go to the top of the order with Coronado, the shortstop, flight out the left, his first at bat. We talked about all those runs. That 20 runs Nimitz put on the board is the most in the series since Mac had 15 in their win in 2006. Back in 2012, Mac won 14-8 and Nimitz won 13-0 5 years ago. So nobody out, leadoff runner aboard, top of the order, and Coronado swings at the first pitch. So both sides really being aggressive at the plate tonight, John, and swinging at the first pitch.
Well, why not? You're trying to mount a comeback here in the third.
Make things happen. Got a lot of ground to gain in district, so make the most of it here. Coronado placed the bunt. Perez will have to come up and make a play. Second baseman Wright is over, or Jimenez comes over to cover. Boy, they had to do a lot of hustling from second to first.
He almost waited too long, and Coronado almost beat it out.
Jimenez covering as Perez, the first baseman, didn't come too far off the bag per se, but because of the way it was hit, he was the only one that could cover.
Yeah, here's Perez, and kind of a spectator right now, but gosh, able to show it just in time. That runner's not going to hold up. I mean, he's going all out. Lucky to get that out.
So Greenman is at second. Maskernik, the third baseman, fooled back in the first, struck out. There goes Jimenez, the second baseman, covering on the pickoff play. He had some ground to cover, going from second on that pickoff move by Garcia.
Yeah, you very rarely see the inside turn. It's the counterclockwise turn, which gives a runner time to get back to the bag.
Outside. Two balls and no strikes, as Maskernik is being a little more patient in his second at bat. That's eyeball high. He holds off the fastball. So it's a hitter's count. First base open. McGee on deck, the number 3 hitter, and they're going to go ahead and give him first base. The first walk of the ball game for MacArthur, the number 3 hitter, Micah McGee.
Okay, apparently somebody in the house
might have
has complained about the music.
Caught
so
some.
Should I turn it up or turn it down?
Should have caught something on the first batter, and that's the fact that Maskernik was patient. That's the whole key. He was patient, and he forced Garcia to make the pitches come in. He couldn't do it. So let's see if things change a little bit. The way Nimitz attacks the bats here in the bottom of the third. Well, that was a no-brainer. Just duck. Garcia looked pretty good in the first. Did give up a couple of base hits in the second inning. 2.5 ERA, has walked 19, walked 15, has hit 11 batters. Probably the most glaring stat as a team, 39 times. Right to third, there's one out. Long throw to first, one hop to the first baseman, and they said yes. Double play to get him out of the inning. In a team that sometimes has trouble making those defensive gems, Mr. Nelson, they turn 2.
Well, Marufo able to get a little bit on it. Even the one bouncer sometimes with his turf is easy to handle. In the old days, it may have hit the grass, may have hit the lip, but there is no lip. And Perez able to handle it nicely at first base to complete the 5-3 double play.
Wasted leadoff hit by Greenman. And it remains a 1-run game at the Shipyard. So they scored 25 runs combined earlier this week.
What'd that line score look like? It was an arithmetic brain teaser.
It was a lopsided look, wasn't it?
There it is. Yes, you have to blink twice. 20 runs on 13 hits. They hold the Cardinals to 10. Maskernik emerged the winning pitcher in that marathon game. We saw Duffner throw last week against Irving High. He took the loss.
Well, John, do you think DeMarcus Lawrence is celebrating tonight?
Guaranteed money.
$65 million, something like that?
Locked him up in all essence lifetime.
Yep.
Cowboys take the plunge, roll out the big money for Marcus Lawrence.
All right, leading it off is Ard. Ard got the double in the second. You may recall all he did was just went with the pitch and just laid the bat out over the plate. Made contact, went over third. Next thing you know, he's at second, scoring the lead run at this point. Swings again to short. Coronado fields cleanly, and there's one down. It's amazing what these writers will do as soon as something breaks like that. Right off the bat, some sports writer says the Cowboys are now a Super Bowl contender.
Then they haven't covered the league too long. What games have they been watching?
Jimenez up. Oh, nice backhand by Maskarnik, and the throw. And Perez gobbles it up at first, and there's two down.
Now that hop a little shorter than the one we saw in the last inning, but Noah Perez able to smother it on a long throw by Maskarnik. It's a two-hopper. First objective is to get to it. He did. And a very short hop handled nicely.
First pitch swinging. Goff. Goff with a base hit, his first of the night. There's that trend again, John. Swinging at the first pitch.
Well, with 2 outs, Marufo came through back in the first, and now Goff comes through here in the fourth.
Torres, who picked up a base hit in the second, a player that a lot of teams just decide to walk, but when there's 2 outs and a runner already at first base, I gather Gonzalez will try to get the out to Torres. Curveball. Pass Flores behind the plate. Goff is down to second now. A base hit could score the 3rd run of the ball game.
Torres with home run power. He's belted 2 this year and not going to waste anything with him.
Yep. That pretty much backfired for him when the ball got away from the catcher and left first base open. Like, okay, forget it. We're going to walk him. Walk number 27 on the year for Torres. And here comes Duffer, the lefty. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 4th. Beautiful Friday night for baseball. Swings at the first pitch. Past shortstop Coronado. Can't get to it. Rounding third is Goff. Goff will come in. 3-1.
2 out hitting by Trenton Duffer, the center fielder.
Now batting number 14.
RBI number 9. Just kind of squibbed off as he goes the other way. Seeing eye single for Duffner that brought in Armin in left field, but a little bit too late. Hit him where they ain't, as they used to say.
Canan's probably asking, oh, where were these hits when we needed them?
Base
2
hit
out.
number 7.
2 out base hit. Swinging at the first pitch again. McGee going to hold his ground, and the inning is over. But the Cards score again. 2 base hits and a walk. They strand a couple. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-1.
They've stranded 6, but they lead by 2 runs. Cardinals had a pretty good start this year. They won 4 of their first 5 games, but they come in having dropped 4 of their last 6. As you see the first base dugout activity for the Nimitz Vikings. Wind has subsided, not much of a breeze at all right now.
Null and void.
Just about. Look at the activity in the visiting bullpen. It's like
no, the Dollar Dog. We gotta promote Dollar Dog Night, and he's just the one to do it.
That's his second.
Is that his second Dollar Dog?
Second dog.
And it only cost him $2.
But it looks like a field day in the bullpen, the visiting bullpen, off the left field line. You got activity, you got running, jumping, you got playing tag. There's a ball somewhere.
You know what that reminds me of? Growing up as a kid watching games at the Gopher Bowl. If you look out back behind the press box, that's it. Just go back 40 years. That's it. That's what it looked like. Instead of baseball, the guys were throwing footballs around behind the concession stand.
So it could have been a 35-0 Grand Prairie lead and nobody cared, huh?
No, not at all. And don't chuckle, because back then they were pretty good.
No, they were. Coach Murray?
Coach Murray, yeah. Came over from South. All right, here at the bottom of the fourth for the Vikes, Rodriguez, Flores, Armenta. Second time around for all of these batters. Facing Tony Garcia. Fastball right down the pipe. Beautiful pitch. One of the few times I think he did not lead off with a breaking ball.
Straight fastball.
Nothing uncommon. If you follow these Cardinals.
That first pitch didn't mean much as Rodriguez hit on the left arm.
Now, isn't there a rule to where if you don't really try to make an effort to get out of the way, they won't give it to you?
You know, about 50% of the time, you see that call.
This is Ricky Flores. Struck out swinging. Rodriguez down at first and a sore arm being hit. Vikings looking for base runners. And they've got him in a rundown if they do it correctly. Perez throws it right past the second baseman. And the Vikings get a break.
Well, Perez threw a slider to the second baseman. Didn't throw it that hard as it trickles out into center field and an extra base.
Yeah, he surprised Jimenez, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. Where did that pitch come from?
Rodriguez down at second, breathing a heavy sigh of relief like, woohoo! I dodged that one.
Didn't mean to be here that fashion, but
yeah, I'll take it.
Arrived safely.
Meanwhile, it's a strike on Rodriguez, a curveball. Pushed right, out of play. Flores a little upset of himself, thought that was a good pitch to hit. Check our roster for the warm-up. That is Morales, number 8.
Anthony Morales.
Foul tip, staying alive is Flores.
Garcia feeding breaking pitches to Flores, just a bit out in front of it. Not able to get the timing down. Almost enticing Flores to take a swing at it.
Both pitchers about the same amount of tosses. That is low. Tony Garcia at 40 pitches. His counterpart, Anthony Gonzalez, too shy of 50 after 4 innings, as we're now in the bottom of the fourth. Light breeze, center to right. Defensively, pretty much everyone's straight away. That is strike 3. Second time Flores has gone down swinging. 4th strikeout of the evening for Garcia. And it goes to Armenta. Armenta did get a base hit his last time up and scored the team's only run. Meza at short. You can see, well, not on that angle. There he is, just to the left of your screen. Inching behind Rodriguez. I mean, Rodriguez really didn't have that big of a lead off. 1 foot off the fake dirt. Fake bunt. Torres comes up behind the plate. Thought about throwing a second.
That's a risky throw.
It always seems more difficult when the base runner is bigger than the guy you're throwing it to.
Yeah, it does.
Nice bunt right down the line. Will it stay fair? And it does. Well done by Armenta. Rodriguez goes to third on the play. Garcia could only watch, hoping that it would go foul. Here's another thing about not having dirt in a lip or anything, John. It stays true.
This one hugs the line, 80 feet. About 10 feet in front of the bag at third. All hands safe. A bunt single for Armenta.
Runners at the corners, only one out. Aaron Wright, he singled before. This time he holds up on that first pitch, and Garcia gets a called strike. Not much of a lead at third by Rodriguez. Armenta maybe a little bit bigger at first, and Garcia sees that, and they throw down to the first baseman.
Almost got him napping.
Yeah, Torres up behind the plate. The catcher was pointing to first like he thought they got him. 0-1 to Wright. Pops it up, out of play.
Listen, that hit concrete.
Did it? At first I thought maybe it hit the top of the press box.
Well, I was waiting for it. I heard the splat, the concrete bounce.
So the ball's flat now on one side?
Yeah. A little bit lopsided.
Oh, a perfect ball to use for a breaking pitch. 0-2 to Wright. In the dirt. Rodriguez at third. Hustles back to the bag.
Yeah, I was at CVS the other night. You can buy these specialized wiffle balls now that are curved.
Really?
Yeah. They're orange.
We
They're
didn't
orange.
need those when we were a kid. We can make it curve without it.
Yeah. Well, they made it easier now. It's kind of slanted.
They make everything easier, John.
Except traffic on LBJ.
These kids today, they don't know how good they've got it. We had to earn our curve. Now
Perfect.
it's handed to them with a
Perfect field
lopsided
condition.
ball. Yeah.
Aluminum bats, perfect field conditions.
No dirt on their jerseys.
And no intentional walks. Had to throw to him 4 times. No saying on a 2-1 pitch, I'll take that.
Runner moving. Swung on a miss. They decide to go down to second base, and that was a mistake. Runner goes to third. They got him. He's out. That ends the inning with a strikeout and a throwout, but Manny Rodriguez was able to score before that. Let's watch the helter-skelterness.
Yeah, you have all kinds of action. The throw is high as Duffner has to come in from center field. By this time, Rodriguez has already scored. And then Marufo waiting for the throw and gets the glove down and got the lead hand of Armenta.
Crazy inning if you look at it in the books, as MacArthur scores the second run of the ball game. On one hit, they struck out twice, and one guy got hit.
Yeah, a hit batter, 2 strikeouts, a throwing error, a single, and then a play at third.
So we finished 4. Back with the 5th in a moment. So we hit the top of the 5th. MacArthur holding on to a slim 1-run lead. And a pretty good ball game played by both sides here through 4 innings of play. It'll be Garcia, Marufo, and Meza. The 3 in the order, 4, 5, and 6 in the top of the 5th. And Garcia swings at the first pitch. I think the fact that we played maybe an hour through 4 innings is the fact that both teams, particularly MacArthur, swinging aggressively, number 1, number 2, swinging at the first pitch quite often tonight. Curveball outside, a little high. count even at 1-1.
Well, you broke one rule, time reference.
Sorry. Ray Guy has never had a punt blocked in his life. It's blocked by the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, the announcer never got it out of his mouth fast enough. Well hit to left center. Armina got a good jump on it, and there's one down. It might have been Brent Musburger who did that.
At that time, it probably was, or Kurt Galley.
True.
What network was it on? And we can tell you.
CBS.
Well, that's
it's
NFL Today.
I think they played that game at Tulane, if I recall. So one down. Rufo up. He's 2 for 2. Swings at the first pitch. Third baseman Meskernik over to first. Nicely done. 2 down.
Well, Gonzalez, any pitcher appreciates good defense, and he's had some pretty nice plays behind him tonight. A 4-6-3 double play. That line drive caught by Coronado back in the third. Still in it.
2 down, nobody aboard. Jorge Meza got robbed of a diving hit in the center where McGee, who got a late start, had to end up diving head first to make the catch. And the third comes up this time with nobody on. And the pitch count stays relatively short and small with the aggressive swinging at the plate. That is low to Meza.
Yeah, it's pretty economical. 53 pitches here in the 5th inning. 10 an inning, a little over that.
Curveball, way out in front of that one. That's a nasty little breaker, huh?
There's that wiffle ball curve.
Yeah. Overhand variety, we could see that from up here. And Jorge could not lay off of that one. Couldn't lay off of that one either, and the inning's over. 3 up, 3 down. First time tonight that the Vikes are able to retire MacArthur in order. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom 8 and 9 hitters, and they go back to the top. But it's been the middle of the order, really. 4 and 6, they've scored the runs. 7th hitter has delivered as well.
Coach Somwan bringing his team to a huddle just in front of the dugout. Allen is an all-district player here at Nimitz. Getting him fired up. Was an assistant here a couple of years, took over from Robert Mendoza. Allen, a UTA grad back in the early 2000s.
Not much has changed weather-wise since the first pitch. Temps only dropped maybe a degree or two, and the wind still blowing from center to right. I look at the top hitting in 6A. Number 1, as you take a look at the flags, who could believe that Sunset is in 6A? I don't know how that happened. But they're there, and they have, what, 4 hitters in the top 10 in the Metroplex in hitting.
What's their overall record? That's a question.
Oh, that's secondary, John. It's the fact that they got a great hitting team. All right, Noah Perez to lead things off here in the 5th. We're going to update you on a former Cardinal pitcher between innings. Where are they now at the top of thing? It's past the catcher. Last time Perez got to bat is back in the 2nd, so you can see right there that Garcia has had a pretty productive night. 4 strikeouts, walked 1, hit 1, and 5 strikeouts. Check that. Had a 3 up, 3 down in the first. struck out 2 in the 4th. Just had that one inning where he gave up a couple of hits. Some curveball there right on the inside part of the plate. And it's 2-1. Pitch swung on and missed. Chris Banda from Sunset, he leads the Metroplex in hitting with a .615 average. Now that's skewed somewhat because he's only had 26 at bats. His teammate is batting .594, Miguel Mendoza from Sunset. He's had 64 at bats. Here's a looper. That's going to fall in front of Duffer. And Perez has a base hit.
Base hit number 5 for the Vikings. And the runner reached base the last 3 innings. The leadoff batter reached base.
Here's a little stat for you, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, let me have it.
You said 5 base hits, correctly?
Correct.
It came from the bottom part of the order. 6, 7, 8, 9. Got all those hits.
Correct.
Nobody covering first, as Greenman, who has one of those hits, acted like he was trying to bunt Perez down to second.
So are you saying the meat of the order is at the bottom of the order
There
tonight?
you go. It fell off the bone. 1-0, high and tight. Maybe Greenman has rattled Garcia a little bit. It's amazing how pitchers' mindset changes when they get a runner aboard. Greenman fakes the bunt, was choking up on the bat. Pulled back and tried to play slap ball with it. Ends up fouling it back. Greenman was part of that weird double play back in the 3rd. There he goes again. Nice bunt. Perez will have to go to first with it. Jimenez covering. The sack works. 3-4 on the put out. We go to the top of the order, and Coronado, the shortstop.
Greenman with a running bunt. Nicely done up the first base line as Perez easily takes second.
We've seen some good bunting tonight.
Yeah, we have.
There's a part of the game that seems to be a lost art. So can the top of the order put some runs on the board for Nimitz? Fastball in the gap. This may fall. Right fielder Goff coming over. Nope, he's got it. Held up just a little too long. And there's 2 down.
Yeah, kind of curved into his glove. I thought for a minute it might drop. But Goff outran the ball.
When they first hit it, you're right, it looked like it was going to go more in the gap. So Miskarnik, with 2 outs, will be called upon now to keep the inning alive, either by getting on or bringing a run in. 2 down. Curveball called strike. Hit the inside part of the plate. Greg might have wanted to argue that fact. That's a fastball in the dirt. Torres digs it up, saves his pitcher out of a jam there. Garcia now with 60 pitches. Unless something really goes crazy, he has plenty before they have to yank him. And that's almost a hit batter. And you saw Garcia, he grabbed his hat as soon as he let that one go, like, ugh, what am I doing? Watch Torres, the catcher.
Yeah, quick shift to the left. Able to keep it in front of him.
He's working that inside of the plate, isn't he?
Trying to have him take a swing at it. or at least get the call.
This is a hitter's pitch here. It's 3-1, although first base is open. There are 2 outs, so Garcia doesn't have to get too fancy with the pitch, and he really doesn't. Second walk. Second time he's walked the third baseman.
I don't know if he's having trouble slipping on the follow-through on that turf mound.
That fake grass-dirt combo.
Yeah, that's going to draw Alan Somwong out. Yeah, let's see. Going to have a pinch runner, and here's your quarterback in the football season.
Ponce? That's Aiden. He's quite a load coming at you at third, or if you're at home, if you're the catcher and you see this guy barreling down at you, hold your ground and get ready.
He was quite a load for the defensive safety.
He was for a quarterback for sure. So here's McGee with 2 outs, 2 on. Vikings down by a run. The first pitch, pretty pitch right over the plate with Micah taking all the way. The way the Cardinals, or excuse me, the Vikings have been batting the last 2 or 3 innings, I'd pretty much throw a strike on the first pitch every time. They've been laying off that first pitch for 3 innings now. Curve ball, right back to the pitcher. He handcuffed him a little bit. He pretty much just fought that one off. And the Cardinals get out of that inning without surrendering a run. So we finish 5, the Cardinals up by a score of 3-2. Before I toss it to my cohort, let's do a little where are they now update. And we're going to talk about Jake Lyons. Coach Gannan told me, he said, hey, he was one of 2 guys I had on my team last year that pretty much propelled us into the playoffs because he was such a good pitcher. One of the top relievers in the Big 12. Part of that Oklahoma State Cowboy team. He's 1-0 in conference play. He's got a save, 1.42 ERA. Has done really well. He spent 2 years at Weatherford College before joining Oklahoma State last fall. And the thing about Jake, he came out of the bullpen and did rather well against TCU recently. And Coach Gannan happened to be able to see that game, so he said it's really gratifying to see one of his former players doing well, and said he'll probably get drafted again. He's been drafted before, decided to stay in college. You know, pro baseball, they draft, about 100 rounds, it seems like.
Yeah, at least 50.
Yeah, at least 50.
You know, there's another former Cardinal pitcher that's, unfortunately, he's out for the year, UTA, Logan Austin, former Card pitcher. He had Tommy John surgery and had a good season last year for the Mavericks, but won't see any action this year for UTA.
And as we head to the 6th, it's time to pass it off to John.
All right, Rob, for the Cards here in the top of the 6th, it'll be 7, 8, and 9. Dylan R., the DH. Anthony Gonzalez has walked 1, struck out 2, and throws a sharp breaking pitch that got the inside corner. Dylan Ard is doubled and grounded out. Cardinals 3 runs on 7 hits. 0-1 pitch is swung on 2 hops by the third baseman Muskarnik into the left field corner. Ard digging for second, and the throw is in time. Right, able to get the glove down. Ard is erased at second as Armenta able to get something on that throw.
Crazy play. It starts out with Muskarnik not able to hand the liner down the line, and then you get Ard trying to stretch it from 1 to 2. Wright making a nice play right here, and close.
Yeah, it was. Look, Ard may have got that hand in first. Here's Gerardo Jimenez. He's hit on the elbow, or did it hit the bat first? It hit the bat.
I remember once let's see. If he's on the arm there, then they got him by a finger. Let's look. Yeah, good call.
Woo! The tip of the glove.
Yeah, that's nicely done, Blue.
Jimenez has reached on an error and grounded out. So credit Ard with a single, and then out at second. Oh, and this is wide. Austin Goff to follow. 3-2 Cardinals. We play in the top of the 6th. Cardinals trying to collect their first district win of the year. This is their 24th game overall. He jammed him, a swing and a miss, and Jimenez is out on strikes. Parker Estrada, the junior, was down on strikes, not Jimenez, so Estrada. As we make that correction, Parker, a junior, out on strikes, and here's Austin Goff. So we'll see who goes into play second. Bottom half of this inning, Goff has singled and a sac fly back in the second, so a perfect 1-for-1. Now he's out as Maskarnik able to jump up, and Goff lines out to the third baseman. The Cards do not score, they get a hit, no miscues, and no one left. Middle of the 6th, 3-2, the Cardinals of Irving Mack still on top.
As we have a break between innings and look at some of the fans taking advantage of Dollar Dog Night. Dallas Morning News with their Class 6A poll. Prosper still number 1. We all know about Marcus and Flower Mound. They're 2 and 4. South Lake sandwiched in between. That's who you would see in the by district. Those guys from Allen, isn't football enough for them? Do they have to be good in baseball as well? Stop it. Jesuit at number 6. You got one of the Rockwall high schools, Byron Nelson at 8. Byron Nelson, and Keller both the next level, the district who this district would face. 5, 6A. So, pretty good teams. We got Arlington Martin there.
Allen has the numbers for
Everything.
all sports to go 40.
Yeah, they could start rowing and everything else.
Well, Jimenez stays in the game. He's at second. Tony Garcia, the freshman, in the bottom half of the 6th, will face the DH, Manny Rodriguez. 3 runs on 8 hits for the Cards, 2 runs on 4 safeties for the Vikings. Rodriguez, Flores, and Armenta. And the freshman misses low. Nimitz got a run back in the 2nd, added to that total in the 4th. Nice pitch on the outside, Black.
Let's watch the mound work a little bit. We were talking, did he have trouble? It just seems like that plant foot gets twisted around.
Lined into center field, on the run, catching up with it, closing fast, Trenton Duffner. Yeah, that you can't dig in like a solid dirt mound. Some of them wear cleats, some of them wear the short rubber type of spikes. Kind of grip it. One out for the catcher, Ricky Flores, who has struck out twice. Tony Garcia has walked 2, struck out 5. He's also hit a batter. Ricardo Armenta will follow here in the 6th. Popped up, off for the mask is Torres, and this one over the top row near the concession stand off to our right. Over the Railbirds. Vikings have stranded 4. A tight 3-2 affair here in the home half of the 6th. The leg kick, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch up high. Garcia came in with a record of 3-3, an ERA of under 3, making his 6th start of the year. And the 1-2 pitch inside, making Junior Torres work on that pitch. 66 pitches total for freshman Tony Garcia. The 2-2 pitch inside, and the count goes to full. Any runner will do here for the Vikings. Bottom half of the 6th, trailing by a run. The payoff pitch, foul straight back. Austin Goff about medium deep in right. Likewise for Duffner in center and Perucci in left. So Garcia has to come in again. And the 3-2 pitch for Mask.
This whole at-bat for Flores is one of the few times that Garcia, the starting pitcher for Mac, has run the count to 3-2.
Here it comes again. Lined into left field as Flores punches one into left. And the 5th hit for the Vikings, a 1-out single for the catcher.
Nice piece of hitting after striking out twice tonight. And I think we're going to have a meeting at the mound.
Yeah, Armenta's a perfect 2 for 2. He's also scored a run. As Ricky Flores, the base runner at first. 1 out. And the freshman Tony Garcia in that meeting at the mound.
At the latter stages of the game, of course, since we're in the bottom of the 6th. One-run lead is, now you really have to pay close attention to trying to keep the runners off.
Yeah, what was this stage of the game Tuesday night? Was it about 14-5?
Something, yeah, something like that.
Okay, the corners, and let's see, Marufo is even with the bag at 3rd. Perez will hold the runner on at 1st. Ricardo Armenta is up there, a perfect 2 for 2. And Garcia looking the runner back to 1st.
I'd really be shocked if they were sending Flores.
Armenta lays off of that first pitch, pump fake throw to 1st. That moved the second baseman Jimenez to cover the bag.
I think that was a called pitch out, John.
I don't know if it got away from him or Jimenez was off as soon as that left the hand of Garcia. Swings and lines one over the shortstop. Mesa into center field. Trying to take 3rd is Flores. He'll draw the throw and reaches safely. They think he's out at 3rd. Well, the Cardinals.
We're going to talk about it. Umpire's going to talk. Home plate said he's safe. He's looking at the base umpire. They're going to talk it over. At first, it appeared they had him by a mile, and yes, he will be out.
So Flores runs into an out at third. Armenta moves up to second. And another look at it.
A busy night for Duffer in center. He's done this once already tonight when Armenta got thrown out. Take the isolated shot. I mean, at this angle, you're saying, yeah, the guy's going to be out by a long way. It appears like the glove is between him and the bag. Now, the base runner, he blocked off the home plate umpire on that particular call. Marufo held on to the ball.
Ricardo Armenta's a perfect 3 for 3. He ends up at second base, but there are 2 outs for the second baseman, Aaron Wright. 3-2 Cardinals on top. Garcia set of the belt. And breaking pitch up high.
Not very often you see a 8-5 put out. We've seen twice tonight.
Center fielders have been running, catching, throwing, and doing about everything on both sides. Runner breaks towards third. The throw is short hopped in front of Marufo, and reaching safely is Armenta. He takes third with 2 outs.
Two topics to talk about that play. One on both sides. With 2 outs, you're thinking, what's Armenta doing? And then at the same time, you got Torres behind the plate going, you know, 1 wild throw, and we're tied at 3.
And had to throw around the right-handed batter. Right-handed batter's tough to throw around when the runner breaks towards third. Able to get there. 2-0 the count on Aaron Wright, the second baseman. The windup by Garcia. The pitch swung on and hit deep to left field. On the run is Perucci, and able to catch up to it in medium deep left field.
Oh, he put the wheels and put it in 4th gear and then 5th gear and ran that one down. It looked like that was going to be extra bases for Wright, and Armenta would score easily. And it held up just long enough for Perucci in left field to chase this one down. It appeared it would go over his head, and the lefty made a nice running catch to end the inning.
So the Vikings are done. We break. We're back with the 7th inning on our ICTN Game of the Week. Set to go here in the top half of inning number 7 as you see our shot from deep center field zooming in towards the pitcher's mound. And that's Anthony Gonzalez on the hill tonight, number 14, the sophomore for the Vikes. It'll be the top of the order, Torres, Duffer, and Perucci. Junior Torres intentionally walked his last time up, lays off of that first pitch that misses inside.
Torres 15th in the Metroplex in hitting. At number 4, named Ranger fans should remember, Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
His son, going by the same name.
Oklahoma commit on paper. Doubt if we'll see much time as a Sooner. Projected to be the number 1 overall pick. Popped up. Foul ground, right side. Noah Perez looking up and overran it.
He did. He got discombobulated, for lack of a better term, as he got close to the dugout. It's his own dugout. That's where you want your own teammates to say, plenty of room, walk you through it, and he just went over it.
It's kind of the way the broadcasters enter the press box. There's plenty of room. You can spread out, plenty of room. Nice elbow room.
Nachos here, please.
2 balls and a strike. The count to Junior Torres, the catcher. He went around. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hammered towards the gap. It falls. McGee plays it on one hop. And a leadoff single for Junior Torres, his 22nd hit overall.
What, just a single? Over half his hits have been extra bases. He came in with a .933 slugging percentage, and that last particular at bat and stroke and swing, you can see why he has such a good batting average.
Alan Samwang out of the dugout, a visit to the mound. Anthony Gonzalez has thrown 71 pitches and is going to be lifted here. Got a pitching change for the Vikings. And the top of the 7th, trailing 3-2.
Well, I notice Perez, the first baseman, is also coming out.
You have some glove changes. You have
a lot of glove changes. 3 players left the field. So let's see who he goes with. We did see some warm up in the bullpen earlier, didn't we?
Well, we did.
Yeah, it's Morales, number 8. No, Morales looks like he's going to go to third base.
And Maskarnik takes first. Is that right? Yes. Greg Maskarnik's at first. Number 24, Noah Perez, in relief of Anthony Gonzalez.
So now we know why Perez was taking off the first base mitt. There's the third baseman now playing over at first. Maskarnik. Noah Perez, a lefty. So they switch sides on Mac. Go from a righty to a lefty. It's funny, you always hear the lefty-righty matchup.
I hear it a lot.
Supposedly the left-hander has a better chance of getting a righty out. When I was a kid playing in City League and whatnot, I always felt more comfortable with the left-handed pitcher, did better than a right-hander. Probably because I was afraid of getting hit. That's the whole thing right there.
I was a switch hitter.
You were.
I was a switch hitter, but
Coach let you do that?
Still didn't see that many lefties. It was a rarity. I didn't say I was a good switch hitter. So the third baseman is Anthony Morales. Greg Maskarnik goes to first, and Noah Perez in relief of Anthony Gonzalez, who worked 6 innings.
Nothing like a little Village People and YMCA to get the crowd going.
Our hot dog night, also the Irving Boys Baseball Association. All the kids got in free with their uniforms and had their parade lap before tonight's first pitch. There's 5 different teams.
Since they don't have to worry about the grass getting worn out or anything, maybe they could get more Little League games or whatever out here to get some more excitement in the city.
Possibility. Foul straight back on the first pitch offered to Trenton Duffner, the center fielder. Duffner has grounded into a double play, reached on a fielder's choice, and a single to center. Trenton Duffer, here's a pitch, lefty-lefty, misses low and away.
He's been busy as a defender more than anything.
Shortly to first by Junior Torres. Showing bunt right back to the mound. Perez will pick it up, and the throw is not it. Oh, it is in time. Duffer thought he beat it out. Moving up to second is Torres. And there is out number 1.
That's a tough play for Perez. Number 1, he's a lefty. They hit it to the right side of him. He's been playing first base the whole night. And now you're expected to swing around and throw a strike to first. Ooh.
Raymond Perucci.
Might have beat that one out.
Batting with a runner at second.
I'm not going to second guess the umpire because you've seen some close calls proving that they got it right. So
yeah, they have tonight. But you're right, that was a hard inside turn move by Perez. Not able to get full extent of the throw. Made it close. Perucci, 1-0 pitch, swung on and hit to right field. It will fall. Torres should be able to score from second. He hits the bag at third. He does score. Trying to take third is Perucci. He'll reach safely. The overthrow. He's coming home. A one-hopper, and he is out. It's a double. It's an E9, and then Perucci erased it home, but they do get a run in Torres. Raymond had a hard time in the corner in right field.
How many times they get called out running the bases? Well hit. Greenman has to give chase. Torres scores easily. And I'm thinking, you got Morales at third. Remember, Morales just came in cold, and he has to make the throw. Look at Perez. He bellied down so he wouldn't get in the way of the throw home.
Into left field, reaching up high, climbing the ladder is Armenta. Takes a hit away from Garcia. But the Cardinals, as we reconstruct the inning, get a run on 2 hits. No errors, and 1 left. That run was charged to Anthony Gonzalez, so the book is closed on Gonzalez as he goes 6 innings, allows 4 runs on 8 hits. On second thought, Greenman, I don't know if I'd give him there or not in right field. He
had
to run it down,
that's a hit.
Got to recorrect
that's
that.
That's a hit all the way.
Yeah.
So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Let's look at the series, see how things have played out in recent years. And you see some dominance by the Vikings starting way back in 2013. They had a nice run, 13, 14, 15, and 16. They won 1 in 17, but they ended up splitting. And then Mac put 3 together before Nimitz won earlier this year, and now MacArthur just 3 outs away from splitting the series this year.
Tony Garcia going to try to close it out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Both the head football coaches, Nimitz on the left, MacArthur on the right. They'll have 6 weeks or so off during the summer, and then bam, it's football time.
Sure, it's 6 weeks now?
Well, my daughter, who's an assistant drill team instructor, she has 4 weeks off pretty much, and that's it.
Yeah, shorter and shorter, isn't it?
Yep. It's that going to camp and all that other stuff for them.
All right. Bottom of the 7th for the Vikings. Leading things off is Noah Perez. Singled his last time up. Takes a first pitch strike from freshman Tony Garcia.
Started him off with a fastball.
Perez is also grounded out. Dom Greenman to follow. Foul straight back in the count at 0-2.
First batter so important. And momentum swings. Nimitz fans up, trying to garner some excitement.
The 0-2 pitch up high. Noah started the game at first base, came into pitch in the top half of this inning. 8, 9, and 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-2 Cardinals trying to avenge that 20-5 setback earlier in the week. This one pushed foul away from the first baseman, Marcus Perez.
Completely different game.
Vikings, or the Cards won both games last year. 3 years ago, Nimitz won both games. Another foul ball. This one pushed well out of play.
I've noticed over the course of the last couple of innings, Garcia unable to get the strikeouts like he did early on. Maybe tiring somewhat.
Has a total of 5 tonight. One-two pitch. Down low, ball 2. Bottom third of the order tonight is a collective 3 of the 7 hits. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a comebacker off with the glove. Backed up by Jimenez at second. And the throw is in time. Trying to dive over the bag is Perez. But the second baseman able to set himself, Jimenez, and make it close at first.
What a play by Jimenez at second. Garcia, the pitcher, gets handcuffed a little bit and couldn't get a glove on it. Jimenez reaching far to his right. As Perez just pokes it, he goes to the knee, comes up firing, and gets him by a good couple of steps.
Man, I thought he had no chance at first. There's a fly ball into shallow center field. It will fall. And a one-out single for Dom Greenman, the right fielder, his second hit. He's a perfect 2 for 2.
That shows you just how important that defensive play was by Jimenez, the batter before. They could have 2 on and no outs.
Eighth hit tonight for the Vikings. Now the top of the order, Marcus Coronado. Coronado has flied out twice. Also has a sacrifice bunt and takes strike 1 from the freshman.
It was a nice pitch, breaking ball that started right down the middle, then broke on the outside part of the plate.
Against softball next week, Lady Vikings and the Lady Cards. Right across the way. Overthrew that one, gets away from Torres. Moving up to second is Dom Greenman. Wild pitch offered by Garcia.
Torres wanted time. I don't know, maybe perhaps he called one pitch and Garcia throws another. Don't have to worry about the guy at second. That is not the tying run. And he's setting up inside, and next thing you know, it goes way outside. And he wasn't expecting that.
Got crossed up, and Greenman takes the extra base. 1-1 count at the plate. Shortstop Marcus Coronado was 4 for 5 the other night. Jammed him and he went around.
One of the few times that Tony has really just reached back, gave it all he got with the fastball.
4 hits and 5 RBIs on Tuesday, and it's down to the count now, 1-2. Just got a piece of it. Squibbed foul. On deck, Greg Muskarnik. 1 on, 1 out here in the 7th. Cardinals leading by 2. Garcia, the freshman, set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and this one is punched foul over Scott Kless. Down the line at first.
There's the other playground behind Scott.
Yeah, it's pretty busy also. A lot of neon. Garcia set. Won't even look at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and blooped towards second. It is picked off by Jimenez. And there is out number 2. Didn't get all of it.
No, it held up long enough for Jimenez to make the catch, but it held up too long to where they couldn't double up Greenman at second, as the second baseman was covering just right.
And the Vikings are down to their last out. Greg Muskarnik has walked twice and struck out. Dominic Greenman leading at second. Garcia said, here's the pitch. stopped by Torres. Vikings have stranded 5 tonight. Turn, a throw, and back easily is Greenman.
You know, you say that, and the way the throw from the pitcher was, he was back easily, but that was a pretty good leadoff by Greenman. And if Garcia could have threw it more on the shortstop side of second for Jimenez, that might have been a lot closer.
Was a little high. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit towards left on the run, and he got it. Perucci able to hold on for out number 3. No runs on a hit in the bottom of the 7th for the Vikings as we take another look at it, Rob.
Well, Perucci did it a couple of times tonight out in left field. Got a good jump on the ball, and an exuberant bunch of Cardinals down there. That 10-game losing streak is history. They get off the skids there. They win their first district game. And a nice piece of pitching by Garcia, who limited the top 4 hitters, 1 through 4, in the Nimitz lineup without a base hit.
Tony Garcia picks up his 4th win of the year, the freshman. For the Cardinals, 4 runs on 10 hits. For the Vikings, 2 runs on 8 hits. Nimitz now falls to 1-7 in district play. The Cards pick up their first district win, their 9th win overall. Cardinals win it 4-2 here at the Shipyard. Our thanks to both head coaches and our outstanding ICT and award-winning production crew. Once again, our final score, MacArthur 4, Nimitz 2. For Rob Willman, this is John Nelson saying good night from the Shipyard.